which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
Dude, I mean, it happens. Well, look, we don't have news these days, only reruns, right? It's just the same cycles keep appearing over and over and over again. So
All right, look,
but it's hard not to predict
well, look,
things.
we were. I went to a diner today, and they were playing. What's that song? Sugar Ray. Someday. Someday when my life has passed me by.
Someday, when my life has passed me by.
And I heard it, and then I said to everybody, I was like, "Do you know how old this song is? What is it, like 1994 or something?" I'm like, that would be like being a kid as a millennial, and you go to a restaurant and they're blasting music from the early 60s. To us, that sounds kind of like a weird thing, like 60s music blasting. You know, we play contemporary music and maybe some 80s. 60s was like the oldies. Now you go to a restaurant, you go somewhere, and they're playing music from the 90s as if it's like modern music. And then we were talking about how you can look at furniture, you can look at appliances and know what decade it's from. Not modern stuff.
Interesting.
What,
after 2010 or something?
After the 2000s. Like late 90s and on, time just froze.
And Tim calls it again. I've been thinking about this for years, that everything just kind of seemed to stop around the year 1999. And if you watched The Matrix, that scene with Smith and Morpheus, remember that movie came out in 1999, and Smith says that the Matrix was based off the pinnacle of human civilization. And that's when we had the World Wide Web, we had cell phones, everything was doing good. But if you look at it, since 1999, 2000, 2001, cars haven't really changed. As Tim points out, music really hasn't changed. 25-year-old music today sounds like modern rock or pop music, where if you listen to music back in the 90s, it was 25 years old, you're listening to early Rolling Stones and, The Doors and Janis Joplin and even before that. And cars haven't changed. Music hasn't changed. Technology really hasn't changed, minus smartphones and flat screen TVs. But where are the flying cars? Where are the holograms? It's like the simulation only had so many years in it, and it ran out around the year 2000 or 2001, the year the towers came down. And since then, we've just been rebooting and going over the same stuff. We've experimented with some hairstyles. We got the man bun, in the late teens to the early 20s. But nothing's really changed. It's like the whole world in reality just kind of stopped in 1999. And where do we go from here? Why is it stopped? Are we going to wander the back rooms for the rest of all of our lives? Whether we're a Zoomer or a millennial or a aging Xer, are we all just destined to just walk the back rooms for the rest of our lives and just keep repeating this decade after decade?